suggested he's not been hit on the chin. Dillian Whyte can whack, and he's in great shape. And I think that Dillian's going to take this fight and go in there and go, you know what? He's going to roll the dice and punch when, you know, Moses does. And I think that is the importance here. Dillian's got to take the chance.
I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, you know, if he had more momentum, it would be, I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more.
Moses, is he ready for this level? Can he take a shot? What's he like when the going gets tough?
Boxing experts are warning MosesItauma about taking on Dillian Whyte, saying the matchup could be risky given Whyte's power and experience. Derek Chisora expresses surprise over Whyte's decision to face Itauma, noting the young fighter is still developing and not yet on the same level. Many believe Itauma should gain more experience before facing such a dangerous and seasoned opponent to avoid jeopardizing his career too soon. Dean Whyte expresses his concern over the timing of this fight, saying that Dillian Whyte may be too big a challenge for MosesItauma at this stage of his career. He points out that while Moses is undeniably talented and shows great promise,
I had a phone call a couple of weeks ago. They offered me to fight MosesItauma in Saudi. You know, I said, how much? He said, 2 million. I said, nah, I'm out. I even phoned Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I don't know why you're taking this fight, you know, because this kid is on fire right now. And he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards, he's going forward.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think Moses, I don't think Dillian gets beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah. You're crazy. Yeah. There's no light at that tunnel. That kid is, no, you mad. No way. Even Lawrence Okoli said Moses is bad.
He is still at the early stages of professional boxing. Dean emphasizes that this is not just about skill, but also about experience and the ability to adapt under pressure. He believes that Moses has a long career ahead of him, and rushing into a fight with someone as seasoned and dangerous as Dillian could affect his growth as a boxer. He urges Moses and his team to think carefully before stepping into the ring with a fighter who has been in big, high-pressure bouts against top competition. MosesItauma opens up about his preparations for the fight, making it clear that he is putting in relentless work alongside his coaches.
On the block, the kid with the thunder, big punch in southpaw. He's predicted to be the leading boy of the heavyweight division. So, I mean, look, it's a crossroads fight. Obviously, as you could look at it, they're saying they're hoping that the baton will be passed from him beating Dillian. I think Dillian's got other ideas, and Dillian's a man that's never should be written off. I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, you know, if he had more momentum, it would be, I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more. But still, Dillian's pressing, he's working hard. And if Dillian's up for it, that experience, you know, is...
He speaks with confidence about his training routine, explaining that every session is designed to sharpen his skills and improve his conditioning. While some people in his circle express concerns about the challenge he is about to face, Moses dismisses these worries, saying that no one else knows what he is truly capable of. He believes in his own strength, mindset, and ability to handle the pressure of facing a veteran like Dillian Whyte. His focus remains on executing his game plan and proving that he belongs in the ring with one of the most experienced heavyweights in the sport. Dillian Whyte sends a direct message to MosesItauma.
There's nothing to kind of deal with, because it's like the only thing you can do is either get angry or ignore it. So I choose to keep in control of my emotions. So I just kind of ignore it. Like, I'm just only on my own path. Everybody's got their own journey. Everybody's got their own thing. But like, I'm not trying to compare anything.
Yeah.
And we was just talking about it with my coaches yesterday. It was like, you know, a lot of people put pressure because they're too worried about the outcome. I'm not worried about the outcome. I'm worried about the game plan. And then the game plan leads to the outcome. So I don't think of things that I can't control. Your opinions I can't control. Like, for example, like if I go to bed today, I wake up tomorrow morning, I still got to play the MosesItauma role.
Yeah.
So my feelings and opinions of myself can't be based on what someone else thinks of me, because you don't have to play the MosesItauma role 24/7. I do. So I just choose to ignore him.
Dillian White, right? I mean, I think it surprised a few when he got announced. It was like, okay, and all of a sudden people were like, this is an interesting fight, old lion versus young lion. What do you make of Dillian White and where he is now in his career?
I think I might be boxing the best Dillian White there is, because this is his last chance. So I just got to kind of stop him from coming back into the division. To be honest, for a long time,
making it clear that he should not be underestimated. He stresses that he is not a fighter to be taken lightly, and that his experience, grit, and fighting spirit set him apart from anyone Moses has faced before. Dillian highlights the difference in energy between them, saying that his years in the sport, his tough battles, and his survival in high-stakes bouts give him an edge that cannot be replicated by youth alone. He makes it known that he is coming into the fight with a point to prove, and that Moses should expect a dangerous opponent who will not back down a training partner.
Sure, the people talking and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy, because now I'm light and I look like I'm in shape. Then now everybody's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yo, come on, man. I don't need to be 100% to win some fights, because I'm a fighter. I know what to fight. He's had more amateur fights than me and all of this other He's doing what he's meant to know. And one thing is, he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of inexperience. I didn't say it right, but I'm tired. Yeah. Ignorance of youth or whatever the it is. Yeah. I'm not a chump, bro. I'm not a chump. Obviously people writing me up, but I'm not a chump. So this will happen Saturday.
Dillian, one word. What can we expect on Saturday night?
What I always bring, man. I always bring that with me.
Who has been working closely with Dillian White, shares his honest thoughts on the heavyweight's condition ahead of the fight. He reveals that Dillian looks physically better than he has in a long time, moving with sharpness and purpose in training. His punches are landing with real power. His footwork is crisp, and his endurance during sparring sessions has been impressive.
Only had about 20 or so amateur fights. He has done a lot of sparring. But again, sparring is behind closed doors. You're in an environment that you feel comfy in. You're away from the scrutiny of the camera. You're not allowed, strictly speaking, you're not really allowed, and most gyms won't allow you to record a spar. They might show you a glimpse of footage, but you're talking 5 seconds, maybe, if even. So he's been kind of away in his own comfort zone. He's fought on big shows as co-main event. I believe him against McKeon was co-main event on Fury Usyk too. But again, he's going in as the firm favourite against the fighter he's expected to beat, and he's the bridesmaid, right? He's fought in the he's fought in the York Hall a couple of times. He's fought low down the card. Itauma has always been that guy. He can learn his craft. He's not strictly, the eyes of the world are on you, etc. Getting bigger, and more people are talking about him, but still, comfy at his own pace. Now his first headline. Bear in mind, Joshua's first headline, I believe, was at the O2 against Gary Cornish. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I know he headlined that night. And this is his first headline. A pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia against Dillian White, and all the media work that comes with it. You did a face-off on Monday. You had the grand arrivals yesterday. You're doing the public workout today. You're doing the press conference tomorrow. You're doing the weigh-in tomorrow. Or you're doing the weigh-in on Friday. Now you're doing fight night on Saturday. You'll have a press conference most likely after. Lots going on. Lots going on for a young man at 20. How is he taking all that? And that's what I'm wondering. It really, again, you compare him to maybe someone like an Anthony Joshua, and it's like, well, AJ had, all this experience in the amateurs. He had, the Sky, machine behind him and stuff like that. But he was a lot older than Itauma. Again, how old would AJ have been? What, mid to late 20s? 25, 26, thereabouts. So old enough to be, bit more sturdy in that. Does have me wondering with Itauma. It is a wonder. But personally, I think Itauma, when I look at him, I think that there's something there with this kid. I think he's got an old head on young shoulders. I think that this is it's his first time headliner.
The training partner says that Dillian's focus has been unmatched and that he is taking this fight extremely seriously, which would spell trouble for MosesItauma. Boxing analysts acknowledge that MosesItauma possesses maturity beyond his years in and out of the ring. They praise his skill set, discipline, and the fact that he already has over 20 amateur fights and countless sparring sessions under his belt.
Moses has been performing under the bright lights, but what I'm saying is, it's still so early and he's got a lot to prove. Up until this point, I can't argue. He's passed every test with flying colours, but the problem is, he's passed so easily, he's missed out on valuable lessons along the way, and he's now got a very experienced veteran in front of him, in Dylan White, who's been at world level. Everybody's written Dylan off, but recently, seeing interviews and seeing training footage, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've got to be honest, my mind's starting to shift. Let's take a look and discuss the key takeaways.
I don't think I've ever seen you be this big an underdog in a fight. You are like 1-14.
Dev asked Dylan, how does he feel being the underdog?
And that's what makes it dangerous. As an underdog, you're underneath. You get up at them testicles and lock onto them, and it's game over.
It's crazy really because, like I said, he's fought at world level, fighting the likes of Povetkin, Fury, Chisora, AJ, Parker, the list goes on. But in sports, you're only as good as your last performance. In Dylan's last fight, he looked terrible, putting it politely.
Has he put something in you? Because like your last few fights, Ebenezer like instilled a fear, not...
No man has put anything in me. Pause this.
Dylan does make me laugh. Dark humour. But maybe that says more about me. He says it the way it is. There's no sugar coating. Dev says, is this the biggest risk he's took in his career? Which again is madness.
All of them has been massive because you think no one's ever had me as the favourite. Think of one fight that was the favourite. Just think.
Dylan's right. He's always the underdog. It's nothing new.
How do you reflect on your fight with Tete?
It was what it was. Listen, I've been walking the long, lonely, dark road for 3 years.
This is the thing. People forget that fighters go through things outside of the ring which affect the performance, but us fans only judge the performance. At the end of the day, fighters are human, they're not robots.
Then that fight for me was, ask myself a question, can I take a good whack and push through? Can I force myself to put the jabs in? Can I...
He admits he wasn't in great shape, but that fight for him was about dipping his foot in the water and seeing if he still got it and still wants it.
I had a few injuries and stuff going into the fight, but it's what it was. But
however, they also point out that this fight represents a massive leap in competition level. Facing Dillian, White means going up against an opponent who has been in the ring with world champions and top contenders. This step up in class will test not only Moses' abilities, but also his mental toughness and adaptability under the lights against a dangerous veteran. Some analysts frame this fight as a do-or-die moment for Dillian White. They believe that if he loses to a young Yupan coming-in fighter like MosesItauma, his career at the top level may effectively come to an end.